I'm curious on this. Grifters are ruining gaming by Tony Sino. No video description or anything. Oh, that's interesting. They didn't ruin gaming, but they did ruin gaming discourse. I can smell this person who tweeted this from here. True words from rarely ever seen spoken. I'm curious what this is all about. I'm an open-minded. I want to hear. I want to see what's going on or so. So I'm curious. One of my viewers sent me this video, so I'm very curious to see what it is. Hey, Hammer.
So excited for an upcoming brand new video game, just to be disappointed and let down again when it turns out the main character is a woman? No? You haven't? Well, congratulations, dog. You're normal. Grifters are completely ruining gaming. And that might sound dramatic or like I'm giving them too much credit, but they legit actually have enough dumbasses listening to the words they're saying to the point where it actually has a detrimental effect on gaming. But let's take a step back real quick, because some of you might not even know what the hell I'm talking about. To understand how we got to where we are in gaming, we first need to understand what a grifter is. The definition of grifter—
Okay, my question is, I'm trying to think right now. In the last like 2 to 3 years, right? Name me one female character that was actually written well as a female protagonist. I'll wait. Name me one female protagonist in the last 2 to 3 years that you played from start to finish that was actually well written. That's my curiosity. Like, that's my question. The AC Shadows chick? Shut the fuck up. Don't you dare say that. Take that back, you fucker. This motherfucker. Expedition 30. You don't play as a woman, dude. This motherfucker. Horizon Girl? I say a well-written character. I didn't say a mid-written character, okay? Alright? Can you name me one girl as the main protagonist that the story was written very compelling and very well and very memorable? Name me one. So I understand specifically Ghost of Yote Atsu. Like, I understand what he's talking about, right? Like, he's saying that, like, you know, people who go too far extreme or so are calling out, you know, the video games that are like, you know, when there's a woman on the screen, right? You know, they're like, oh my god, it's a woman, I don't want to play it. Now, the problem is that, like, that, because I already kind of could guess where this video is going for, right? I can already immediately guess where the problem is like, we've had recent stories or so, at least the past couple of years or so, where we had a main female protagonist, right? Which was, you know, some of them would be really good or some of them would be really hot, you know? It just kind of really depends on, like, you know, the story or the character design itself, right? The problem is, in the most recent years, we have not had anything like that. What's that one game from Square Enix with that one girl who gets isekai'd into another world? What's the name of that fucking game or so? She's like that black girl or so. They use the most stereotypical, like, race stuff, you know, for these specific characters. That's just the problem. It's just like, yeah, there you go, Forsaken, there you go. The problem is, it's like, it's not like, you know, we're shitting on them because there's a female character. I don't really personally care. Like I said, I don't really personally care. I judge the game. If it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad, okay, right? That's how I am specifically, right? I'm not an Asmongold type of person. I'm not none of these other people specifically. If I think the character is shit, the character's shit, okay? All right? I don't care. I don't really care, you know? But the problem is like, most of the recent female characters have been shit. They have not been great, you know? They really have not been very great. They use the most stereotypical thing in the entire world, and the story progression for this character to evolve and everything. The Forsaken character, or Forspoken character, was fucking terrible. You know, she was completely awful as a fucking main character. She was the most annoyingest fucking main character to play as. And she'd really... just you really, like, hated her. Like, you really don't like her whatsoever. That's the problem with, like, female characters in today's day and age. I know that there's what is it, Tides of Annihilation just recently released a trailer or so not that long ago where you play as a female character but the combat is great. The story seems pretty interesting. The world seems very interesting. The enemy bosses seem very interesting. So that's like kind of like the problem. It's like I understand where this guy is gonna go for, but I'd be curious to see if that's where I'm thinking is where he's gonna go for.
That I like the most is petty swindler. And I can't lie, I can't think of a better description. Because that's what these little trolls do, bro. They just fucking they create issues out of literally thin air, Houdini, and then they convince you that you should be mad about said made up issue. Now, we see this in a lot of places. Politics is one of the biggest ones, but gaming is among the absolute worst. And it's hilarious because besides YouTube, there's really only one platform that these people really like to congregate on. You go on Instagram, TikTok, some shit like that, there's gonna be normal conversations being held about gaming. Just some normal people for the love of the game, maybe a couple of debates, some shit like that. Everything changes when you open twitter.com. I am not calling that shit X, gang. We should have never...
Oh man, Twitter. Yeah, you don't want to open up Twitter though. When it comes to video game talks, you don't want to open up Twitter. That's something you do not want to talk about.
Allowed people to get
or
paid
open
from
in general
on their tweets on Twitter. That shit has been the most detrimental thing to society since crack hit in the 80s. And then to add fuel to the fire...
Well, there was stuff, there were other versions of social media that was also worse from Twitter, okay? Let's not forget the older social spaces before Twitter, okay?
We got this whole rage bait culture going on now, because you can say some shit that you know is completely false and then turn around and hide behind, bro, you fell for the rage bait. Let me give you guys a couple examples of what we're talking about here. Take the Wolverine game coming out for PlayStation 5. You guys remember the Wolverine reveal just a couple of weeks ago, right? Showed Wolverine, Mystique, the combat, some of the story, the graphics look good. I mean, shit.
Yeah, but I'm like, remember, we had a game like this specifically. They used realistic graphics for a Marvel game. That didn't really end very well. Let's be honest here. They used what was it? It was a Square Enix game, right? What is it? Avengers or whatever it's called or so? They used a more realistic style and it just didn't really blend very well. I don't know. Personally, for me specifically, I'm not a huge fan of the Wolverine. Like, I wasn't really caring about Mystique specifically. I was mostly caring about Wolverine himself. I was just kind of like, it's like, I'm not really a huge fan of this Wolverine. It could be the art style because I'm not a huge fan of this art style. Like, that could probably generally be it. It's like the art style itself is just not that great. That's it.
Nope. It ain't good enough for these losers. For a group of people that can't even stand it when a woman is a lead character in the game, you would think that a Wolverine video game would be their cup of tea. You think that would be exactly what they need. Nah, bro. They're mad about the woman that is in the game. These people are mad that the X-Man Mystique, the blue shape-shifting mutant, is not sexy enough for them. Okay.
Okay. We're gonna fact check this real quick. We're gonna fact check him right now. Okay, let's see. Because I don't really follow Marvel, you know. Like, my curiosity is the rendition of Mystique, right? Because you have different like versions of Mystique, like overall, you know. Was it from X-Men, right? Is it from X-Men? Yeah, it's from X-Men. Like, she's just been attractive overall, you know? It's a valid criticism to have, you know? You got the 1978s, 1984, you got Muscle Mommy 1995, 1998, 2009, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2010, and 2013. Yeah, it's safe. It's just Mystique, bro. Chill. But like overall, it's just like she's always been like an attractive, sexy character though, overall, you know? That's kind of like basically it. That's just her in general. Like, that's just how her character is. Since like the olden times for this character. That's just how she is overall. So like, you know, look up her modern look in the comics. Let me see. Let me take a look. Mystique. Modern version. Let me take a look real quick. What's her modern look? Do you know what it looks like by any chance? Is it this right here? Or is it this? What in the fly? What is that? Ew, what the hell am I looking at? Because that's the old comic book version. What is it? 2025 Mystique? Let me see. Let's see. Let me take a look. 2025 Mystique. Is this it right here? Is this what she looks like? Well, I can't really see her full self anyway, so that's kind of like the gist of it. Good looking women in the year 2025. Are you asking too much? Well, you know. She does look kind of weird. I ain't gonna lie to you. Seeing this picture right here, look, it looks kind of a bit weird. I'll be honest with you. She does look a little bit weird. I'll be honest with you. If this is what literally what Mystique looks like now in 2025, kind of a little bit weird in my personal opinion. Just a smidge, you know. If that's what she looks like in 2025, of course. Let's just say 2025, she got nerfed. I see. I'm like, she's been attractive for all this time since like the 1970s. This was like before you were even born, Tony. You should already know this by now, you know? It's a valid criticism to be like, hey, you know, she doesn't look really attractive. She doesn't really look that great. Looks like a little bit more modernized. She's like the modern, you know, the modern censored version of her, I mean. So...
Hey, I hear y'all. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Bro, they're out here talking about DEI Mystique. What the hell does that even mean? It's at the point now they just throw around what...
diversity... what is it? Diversity, something inclusive? So, I don't know.
Whatever buzzword they want to, bro. This shit makes no sense. Cause dog,
it's not a buzzword. If you're a gamer and you've been in the video game scene, you should already know what DEI is. If you've been in the gaming scene in general and have been hearing and understanding the community of video gamers in general, you should understand what DEI is. It's not a buzzword, you know. It's not like a throwaway word compared to what the other people are using fake words. There's other people who are literally using fake words or so. Brother in Christ, have you heard of Latinx or Latinx anyways?
the attractiveness of a character does not impact the gameplay at all. Why do we give a damn about the side characters look?
It doesn't. It can, of course it can, because a lot of the games, because it's been a repeated factor, okay? All right? A lot of the games who have ugly female characters, usually the gameplay is just not good. It's very repetitive. It's pretty safe. Like they play it safe. Like they don't really take any like risks involved into it. DEI equals black? Not really, to be honest. Nah, JK, I'm black. like I understand what he's trying to say. Like I completely understand what he's trying to say, but I have to disagree with a lot of the things that he's saying right now, to be honest. Like I'm disagreeing with him specifically, because we just checked on Mystique from 1970s, and Mystique was always sexy throughout the years of just how she is in general, you know? Like she was even also, they even turned her into a muscle mommy in one of the years of the comic books, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, guys love muscle mommies at the end of the day, you know? There are some guys who like them.
On top of that, this shit is the most ironic thing ever. Have y'all seen Mystique in any other media besides Jennifer Lawrence Mystique?
Yeah. It's called The Other Comic Books since 1978. I'm not a comic book person, and I just searched it up right now. I just proved you wrong.
Besides her, hold on now. But have y'all seen Mystique in any other like cartoon or any other appearance?
Yes, I remember Mystique in like, here, hold on, let me see. Cartoon Mystique. Yes, I do remember Cartoon Mystique. Yes, Cartoon Mystique. Yes. Like I do remember the cartoon version of Mystique. It's like I don't understand, you know? Isn't Mystique blue? Yeah, Mystique is blue, but like the problem is like the new version of Mystique has been, I guess you could say, modernized. She looks like more. She doesn't look very like feminine, you know, sexy, you know. Like that's the thing itself. It's just like that's just how she is in general. Like you know, like she's always been like the sexy type person because she can transform into anybody, you know. Like that's just how she is overall, you know? See? Like every single one of these pictures that I've seen, man was tripping when he said she has always looked mid. Excuse me? You're telling I don't know what specific Mystique. I don't know what specific Mystique version he kind of looks at her. So to be honest, my personal opinion, she looks pretty attractive in a lot of these pictures that I'm literally showing the different pictures of Mystique. like what do you want me to do, you know? It's like I just keep proving him wrong and wrong and wrong. So I just don't understand, you know? I'm like I don't know where you're getting that she's like unattractive whatsoever, because she's not unattractive whatsoever. I've just shown so many pictures of her right now and how she looks like from the olden days. Like I even remember this too as well. You know? Like I remember a lot of this stuff, you know? That's the craziest thing about it, because I remember the cartoons.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. She's mega chopped. Like dead ass, bro.
Brother in Christ, you're using the 2025. This is a 2025 version of Mystique. This is not what she looks like before, like what, 2014? Everything before 2014, she looked crazy good. What are you talking about? This is the 2025 version of her. This is a horrible thing to use, to be honest.
Like dead ass, bro. Ironically, this is one of the best looking appearances of Mystique. She looks good. Listen, I'm cracking. But okay, cool. They don't like Mystique. Whatever. DEI Mystique. They love manly men in their video games, right? So Wolverine, at the very least, being the main character and the main focus about this game, that should be enough for them to not be complaining too much. Yeah, bro. This Wolverine is a soy boy to them. This Wolverine,
the trouble just has a way of finding me,
isn't Wolverine enough for these people. Dog.
Well, if you take a look at all the different versions of Wolverine, all right? Since this guy wants to debate, right? This guy is trying to debate, right? I'm going, look at it. Let's see. All different versions of Wolverine. Like we're gonna literally pull up all the different versions of Wolverine, like every single one of them. Like honestly, like the appearance of like him specifically is like you have so many different versions of Wolverine in general. Usually Wolverine is a short stack guy with a really big chest, broad shoulders, you know. It's just kind of like, you know, it's just kind of like it is. I personally don't like it. I don't like this version of Wolverine. It could be because of the art style in general. I'm just not a huge fan of the art style because of the realism. Because we all know for a fact 100% the realistic style doesn't really work very well compared to like the more, you know, more darker and grittier version of him. Because remember, the Avengers game from Square Enix used realistic graphics for their superheroes. But let's not forget, you know, like, let's be honest here. They used realistic graphics for this. It's not really that great, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, it's really not, you know? So that's the only reason. I don't think the realistic graphics work for Marvel, for just like Marvel heroes. Look at this. This is supposed to be Black Panther. This This is supposed to be Black Panther right here. This is Black Panther in that game. This is the only reason why, like, I'm like a little bit like, this is supposed to be Black Panther. This right here. That's what Black Panther looks like in the Avengers Square Enix game. Now, I'll be honest with you, it doesn't look that great. Let's be honest here. Like, the muscles aren't muscles, you know? Like, these characters are supposed to be like not proportionally like superhuman, like normal humans, you know? They're supposed to be superheroes. They're supposed to have like big muscles, you know, just very overinflated chests and everything like that, you know? Like, compared it to the Marvel Rivals version, yeah, sure, I can do that too. Marvel's Rival, Black Panther. Like, if you do Black Panther version of this guy, you know, it's the artistic style. Like, literally, the artistic style is like a complete difference between, you know, this here and that there. That's the reason why people aren't super a huge fan of the Wolverine one. It could be because of that, because it just doesn't look very great. But as you can tell, it's not looking very great in my personal opinion. So, like, let's be honest here. What version of Black Panther do you guys like the most? This one from Marvel Rivals or this one from Square Enix? I think everybody would choose the Marvel Rivals version. That's the reason why the Wolverine one is just more concerning, you know? That's just the only thing. That's why personally I'm not a huge fan. Plus also, look, the butt, beautiful butt, you know, very, very fantastic curvature butt. That's a very well sculpted ass, you know? That's kind of like basically the thing itself that I'm a little bit concerned about the Wolverine or so. Like, because there's like different versions of Wolverine in general. And unfortunately, this Wolverine, for me, at least for me personally, would have loved they canceled that Black Panther, but WB being stupid. True. That's the only thing. I was like, for me personally, when I think of Wolverine, I think of a short stack guy who's like ridiculously super buff and everything, you know? Who has a big ass chest, big ass broad shoulders, just big ass biceps and everything like that. And just very short tempered dude, you know? That's what I think personally of what I think of him overall. But you know. Yeah, he's a pretty engy guy. You know, he's a definitely engy individual. That's the only reason why I'm just not a huge fan of it. It, like I said, it definitely is the artistic style, like the graphics, like definitely the art style that they chose for the game itself. Not really hitting it with me. That's why I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to enjoy it. You know, it's not really for me, you know, but hey, if you like it, hey, be my guest. Knock yourself out, I guess, you know, so.
It gets to it. What are we talking about? I'm watching this man turn people into Anakin Skywalker, bro. Leaping at people with max ferocity. This man is about homicide right now. And it's not enough for y'all? This is ass. This is ass to y'all? Like, it gets to
We never said this was ass in general. We never said that the gameplay is ass. Whoever said the gameplay is ass doesn't really know what they're talking about at the end of the day. We're talking about the artistic style of the game itself and the way how they decide to choose to make the characters themselves, you know. That's what we're talking about.
Point where I really wonder, what is it that y'all want from these games? They are just committed to the grift, bro. It's insane. Remember how I said they will make up things to be mad at and then try to convince you to be mad?
We're not making up things up. I just literally just disproved you already in the first 4 minutes of the video already. It didn't even take me that long to go Google search either.
Mad at the thing they made up. Just listen to a clip of one of my favorite grifters, the wonderful Vara Dark. Let me just play you a quick clip of something she said recently.
One thing that I thought was really weird about this trailer that I had said while I was live streaming the State of Play is the fact that 90% of the enemies that Wolverine is beating up are minorities. So I just have a very sneaking suspicion that it's going to be about his white privilege and him coming to terms with that and him trying to become a better man. I just have a feeling feeling that that is not a coincidence.
Oh, Vara. My sweet, sweet angel. Are you smoking crack? This is how you know these people don't play or care about the games they're talking about at all. They just want to monetize off of your outrage. Why does it look like Wolverine's fighting a lot of minorities in the Wolverine game trailer? I don't know, man. Could it be that the game's not in fucking America? Dog, the game is set in Madripoor, a fictional country, not the United States. So if anything, Wolverine is the minority where he's at in that story. And guys, these people do this with every game now. I just showed you them saying Mystique in the new Wolverine game ain't sexy enough for him. So that begs
Well, Mystique is supposed to be sexy because she is sexy. like what are we talking about here? She is supposed to be sexy.
the question, what do they want these characters to look like? And of course, it was no other game than Ghost of Yotei to provide us an answer to this question.
Oh god, not Ghost of Yotei. Please don't tell me you're going to defend Ghost of Yotei. Please, no. Please, no, please. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh god. Oh god, where's TBH at? I need the Black Coat Kage for this point of view. Oh my god, I don't even know if I want to listen to this, to be honest. Oh my lord.
Holy fuck, we cannot be serious. If Ghost of Yotei made Atsu look like this, the game would have sold 1 million copies by now. Holy shit. I can smell the person who tweeted this from here. I mean this with all sincerity, bro. You cannot be dead ass. Bro, this game
It's a joke. It's just a joke, bro. That's what it is. It's just a joke. I think he took the rage bait, to be honest.
is set in the 1600s.
But is he wrong? Is he wrong though? No, not really, to be honest. If the character looked a little bit more attractive, I think we would have been fine, to be honest. But it's still, the problem is, it's like, you can make the character attractive, but the story is still shit at the end of the day. Like, it's not super great. It's like average. It's like basically the same thing. If you played Ghost of Tsushima, you basically played Ghost of Yotei. It's the same thing. They played it safe, you know? It's the same thing with the Spider-Man video game, you know, with which one was it? The Miles Morales one or whatever the recent one that came out or so. It's the same thing. They played it safe. So it just wasn't that great, you know? It's the same thing for this one. It just wasn't that great. Like, you could put in a hot character in there, but it ain't gonna save the story itself, you know? So
I'm a gamer. I don't need my character to look like this shit. Nobody in the 1600s is looking like this, bro. Shit, nobody today is naturally looking like this.
I don't know what kind of women you be seeing, but let me let's see. But I'll be honest with you. I don't know. Women do look like that, to be honest. I don't know what that's true. I don't know. Reminder, this is an actor they rejected for the role for Atsu. Let me see. Really? Really? Are you serious? Wow, that's crazy. That's actually pretty wild. I did not knew about that, actually. That's actually pretty crazy. I'm just saying, you know, pretty big boobas, you know. I'm just saying, you know. I don't know. Kind of looks like, you know. Here, you know what? I'll even pull something else too for you guys. Here, watch. Watch. So no women looks like this, right? Is what you're saying? No women looks like this in general. Okay. Let me just pull a few things out. Okay. Let me just pull a few things out, shall we? I'm gonna prove him wrong. Okay. I'm gonna prove this. I'm gonna prove this guy wrong. Okay. So I'm just gonna prove this guy like very wrong. Grab a little bit of that. Let's see. We'll grab this one here. I'll grab this one here. Sure. Chang Li. Sure, I'll grab Miss Chang Li. Miss Llama Luma girl. Ah, this one. This one's also pretty good too. Those are fake boobas. Those are not real boobas. Here we go. This one's perfect. Here we go. So I'm gonna prove this guy wrong. That, you know, nobody looks like that. Okay. You know, I'm just saying. You know, definitely nobody looks like that. You know, definitely nobody does. Right? Like nobody. You know, nobody looks like that. You know, definitely not. Right? Like, you know, I'm just saying. You know. Definitely nobody looks like that, you know. Nobody looks like that, you know. Definitely, you know, like he said, nobody looks like that. Nobody does. Nobody does. Okay, nobody looks attractive, you know. Nobody looks attractive. Okay, you know, nobody does. Okay, all right. I'm just saying, you know, nobody looks attractive. Okay, that's all I gotta say. The boy star Kennen Fukuhara auditioned for the role for Atsu in Ghost of Yote, but she was declined the role due to having limited acting experience. That's interesting. Edited pics, Co? Yeah, that's your mom right there. I edited your mom in those pics. That's crazy, though.
And I'm a gamer, bro. I'd much rather have my character look like...
I don't think you're a gamer. I generally think you're not a gamer. Hashtag, you're a ball and shooter type of gamer. That's what you are. You're just like what TBH said all the time. You're a ball and shooter game. Okay? That's all I gotta say.
This, forget the yitties. Like, bro, corn is free. You feel me? If you're really trying to see all that, you know, hit the Google one time or hear
nobody is going towards that mentality. Nobody said that I need to jerk off to my video game character while I'm playing my video game with one hand.
Out. Even better, go talk to a woman in real life. I know, that's a crazy ass concept for some of y'all.
Weird. It's always so weird that these people always break up that specific topic. It's like, bro, just go fucking watch porn, bro. Oh, bro, go talk to a real woman, bro. It's like, that's literally not what we're going for. You know, that's literally not like the first thing we go there, you know?
But hear me out, that shit is way more rewarding. This is what gives gamers a bad rap, bro. I look at tweets like this, I just feel disappointment, bro. Like, this tweet really just describes everything in a nutshell, bro. Cause like, dog, what the fuck are you talking about? And the real irony of this tweet, it came out October 8th. The caption reads...
Yeah, but you want to know something? Eve from Stellar Blade still sold a lot of copies, though, so... Talk about Marvel rivals or so with very attractive characters. At the end of the day, sex always sells. Always. When you're taking somebody out of your real world into a fantasy world, into a video game world, they want to be pulled in by, like, you know, by the characters and the story and all that. But if your character looks like looks like fucking Jessica from freaking, you know, from fucking from your workplace or so, that you hate so much, you don't even want to continue playing the game. I'm just saying.
If Ghost of Yote made Atsu look like this, the game would have sold 1 million copies by now. The game came out October 2nd and sold 1 million copies the first day.
No, it didn't. Where's the proof in that? Let me see. On the first day. So it sold over 1.3 million copies. On the first day. All right. So it sold. Okay, so conflicting data. Other reports cite different numbers, with one Reddit post mentioning 1.7 million in the first 24 hours, but immediately noting these figures are unconfirmed. So they're unconfirmed. So it's not true. I'm just saying, it's not true. Okay. But let's be honest here, it's not true. Comparison to the predecessor, the comparison of its predecessor, Ghost of Tsushima, sold 2.4 million copies on its first 3 days. So he's just lying. The proof is in the pudding. It's not confirmed that they sold over 1 million copies. So I just disproved him again. Do we need to keep going for this? Like, does he want to keep talking or so? It literally says it has not sold. It has been unofficially reported. I reckon a lot of these purchases were just store pre-buys without the actual consumers buying. It could be, to be honest. Like, let me see. What did I wanted to type in? Let's see. So, at least for the PC version anyway. So, the PS5 version released in April of 2024 did not have a specific day one sales figures reported, but it sold over 1 million copies in the first 24 hours according to Icon Era and WNHB, and 544,000 copies were sold on PC, which was the first day it was available on Steam. So you're telling me that this game sold about, what is it, 1.5 million copies or so? Because like 500 because of the PC, that's why. The PC version. PS5 version of the game had a day one sales number that's not specified, but it reached over 1 million sales worldwide in the first 24 hours across all platforms after its April 2024 release. So we do have 2 confirmations, like I guess you can say according to, 2 sources here, that it did sold. It did sold, over 1 million copies. While Ghost of Yote, it is unofficial reports, and they're just basically taking it from a source from Reddit. Reddit. Let me remind you, they're getting their sources from Reddit. Not an actual like outlet report, just Reddit. So yet again, what are we doing here?
Which means by the time this dumbass tweeted this tweet, the game had already sold well over 1 million copies.
Unconfirmed 1 million copies because it was on Reddit who announced it.
Dumbass! This is why I tell.
Give me a second. Dumbass! I can do it on the fly, bro. I'm just saying, I don't have to post edit that, okay? All right?
Y'all, bro, they don't care about these games at all. They just want to piss you off and then run up money off you talking shit underneath their tweet about the game. It makes no sense, bro. Y'all cannot be falling for this, bro, and y'all cannot genuinely convince these people to make you care about dumb shit like this. It doesn't matter. Like, bro, now they're coming after The Witcher 4. The Witcher series being one of the most beloved game franchises ever. What are they mad at this time? Go ahead. I'm gonna let y'all take a quick guess. I'm gonna give you a few seconds. You ready? DEI makes everything worse, and it's just 2 pictures of the main character. At first, I just thought they were mad that this game has a female lead, but no, they're just mad that she's not hot enough for them. Again, crazy take. I know y'all don't talk to women in real life.
We all know for a fact, like 100%, we know for a fact that this concept trailer that they always show or so, especially from The Witcher 3 or so, because remember they had a concept trailer for The Witcher 3. I'll be honest with you, it wasn't the same when the game came out. I'll be honest with you. So this is definitely not the same look that's going to be coming out in the final game as well, because that's just how it is. This is just a concept trailer. It was the same thing for The Witcher when Geralt was shown or so at the same time. This VTuber carries themselves with moderately fertile swagger. What are you talking about? Like, that's the thing. Like, I'll give him benefit of the doubt. I'll give him pointers on this one, okay? People were calling Ciri ugly was a little bit like, I was like, okay, all right, now we're kind of stretching it a little bit, okay? Because at the end of the day, it's a concept trailer. It's not really a full-fledged game because we all know that the final product is going to be changed. The problem is what we have about the game itself is the story writing and why did she become a Witcher? when literally Dark told me that like females cannot be witchers. So, and then also she was supposed to be this all-powerful being or so in the third game. And then Dark is saying, why would she want to demote herself from her powers, from her all-powerful powers, to be a witcher? You know, that's basically is what we're having problems with, and we're trying to understand specifically what's going on with this. Same for the new RE game. People are saying that the MC ain't hot enough. I'll be honest with you, like some of these takes are a little bit ridiculous. Some of them are pretty valid, like the one at the beginning with Mystique and everything like that, right? That was a pretty valid criticism that I had to debate against him. But this one is kind of like, okay, all right, I think you're reaching a little bit too far, in my personal opinion.
Ugly to y'all? And again, I have to stress this, even if she is ugly to y'all, who gives a damn? This is not Concord, right? Concord was another story. Concord was a hero shooter, right? A hero shooter. Every character has a unique design, unique abilities.
That is not what's wrong with Concord. I'm gonna be honest. That was one of the things that was wrong with Concord, but that was definitely not the thing that was actually wrong with Concord as well. Okay, all right. Unique designs, right? Unique designs. Now, I would say Geralt has a major impact on Ciri, so I'm open for her to be a Witcher. Depends on the story. Yeah, but at the same time, Dark told us that women, well, even said in the story, in the game itself, women cannot be Witchers. It's only guys. Guys can only be Witchers. The question is, how did she become a Witcher? Why did she become a Witcher? And why did she even bother to give up her powers to be a Witcher? Who did it for her and why? You know, there's like the who, what, where, and why. You know, when was it done? What happened? Why did it happen? Okay, like that's the major questions you always ask yourself about a story or so. The who, what, when, where, and why. Where did it happen? You know, what year did it happen? You know.
They have to incentivize you to play said characters. No one's going to spend money playing a hero shooter where none of the heroes look good at all. But a story mode game, something that follows a narrative with a lead character that's been with the franchise for what, over 20 years now? Like what are we even talking? And
let me see. Ciri is not a playable character in The Witcher 1 or 2, but she is introduced in The Witcher 3, where she's a central character. Okay, so wait. So The Witcher 1 and 2, Ciri is not a playable character in the first two games. Her existence is hinted at through mentions from other characters as a brief indirect reference to a girl with ashen hair, who took Geralt and Yennefer to Kaer Morhen in The Witcher 2, Geralt's memories return. Geralt's memories return, and he begins to piece together his past, including his connection to Ciri. Ciri is a major character in the... Okay, so... Okay, can I see real quick? Hold on, let me see. Witcher 2... Okay, so there was no, so technically... Oh, where you can hear the story of Ciri, but not actually, like, the actual... Like, she's not actually, like, there, I assume, right? I guess that's my curiosity is when I'm looking at her, so... What makes you think she went through the process? Did the story leak? She might still have her powers. Well, that's the issue, you know. So far, this is all like the Witcher. This is all the Witcher 3 character, isn't it? Like this is all Witcher 3. Yeah, this is all Witcher 3 character. So wait. Can it go back for a little bit, real quick?
You to play said characters. No one's going to spend money playing a hero shooter where none of the heroes look good at all. But a story mode game, something that follows a narrative with a lead character that's been with the franchise for what, over 20 years now? Like what are we
So we're saying that like 20 years. But like the problem is like she doesn't like she's not really like she's mentioned but she doesn't show up until like The Witcher 3. What are we talking about here? Like she doesn't really show up until The Witcher 3. Because she becomes like an actual like main character in The Witcher 3. It's like saying a god character was an anime since the first chapter, but it's the only ever seen at the very end. They talk about the books. Maybe he's talking about the books, but you don't see her though visually though. Like that's kind of like the thing. I could be wrong though, but like series mainly in Witcher 3. I've played Witcher 2 and still have my 360 copy. They hardly mention her in that. Like it says right here that in The Witcher 1 and 2, she's not a playable character, but she is mentioned. But they just kind of like tease that she's like, oh, she has like white hair, you know, that's it. But in The Witcher 3, you actually see her though. So it's like, what is he talking about? He doesn't even know what he's talking about. She doesn't show up until the third game. So it just means you've never done your studies and understand what you're talking about for this part. Usually when I make a video or anything like that talking about a certain subject, I always do my research, you know? I always write out a script and everything just in case, you know?
Even talk. And when I tell you guys, I could go on all day finding stupid ass examples of shit like this dumbass said 13 million copies sold versus 1.3 million sold. Like I said, Ghost of Yotei is a flop. Dickhead. Ghost of Tsushima came out 5 years ago, gang. 5. If you think Ghost of Tsushima sold 13 million copies in its first day, let alone its first week, let alone its first month.
Let me see. How many copies did Ghost of Tsushima sell in 24 hours? So let's see. So 24 hours. So Ghost of Tsushima sold 2.4 million copies in the first 3 days. So in the first 3 days, it sold that many. Okay, so how many sell in 1 week? What about 1 week? So the global first month, it sold 3.3 million units sold. So that's how much it sold. So that's how much it sold literally in the first month. So the first week of Japan sold 221, but like in the first 3 days or so, it sold about 2.4 million. 2.4 million copies in the first 3 days. Yeah, so I don't understand what he's trying to mean, to be honest. I really don't understand what he's trying to combat against here, when I can literally just search up the actual answers to everything, you know? If the first 3 days sold 2.4 million, right? The first 3 days, right? And then the first month sold 3.3 million units, it's kind of like, you know, these are global first month. So I don't understand this. Like I'm like literally debating against this guy, like no joke. For like I'm like literally counteracting like a lot of the things that he's saying. Now there's some points that I do understand, right? And I agree with him, right? But there are other points that I disagree, and I pop out like, you know, I pop out Google, and that tells me everything here, you know? Critical thinking is always a thing that you need to have.
Let alone its first year. You're smoking dick! I believe the first year sales numbers of Ghost of Tsushima was around 6.5 million copies sold.
6.5. So you said 6.5. Okay. How many did Ghost of Tsushima sell in its first year? So Ghost of Tsushima sold 5 million copies within its first 4 months of release in 2020. The game reached 2.4 million sales. So the first year, approximately 12 months, while the exact figure for the full first year isn't explicitly stated in the search results, it has sold over 6.5 million by March 2021, which is around 8 months after launch. So, to be fair, Ghost of Tsushima was a fresh new IP and had the momentum of free advertising and people calling it Assassin's Creed in Japan. Pretty much, yeah. But at the end of the day, he's saying that like it only sold like, you know, this many units in the first year when it literally, I just disproved him again. You know, so that's what I'm saying, you know. No, this is just to pay for that. So in approximately so by March of 2021, it sold over 6.5 million, which is 8 months of its release date. It's not in its first year that he said 6.5. In the first 8 months, it sold 6.5. So it probably sold even more after those 8 months. So then on top of that, you know, I'm just saying.
How can you compare the sales numbers to a game that's been out for 5 years to a game that hasn't even been out for a full month? But this is my point.
Let me do the thing he does. Dumbass! I just did the research for you. Sorry, he just does it. I want to do it too as well. I just disproved it right now. In the first 8 months, it sold 6.5 million copies, so.
These people aren't this fucking dumb. They might be, but I just can't believe that they might be. But what they do know is that there's somebody dumb enough out there to agree with them and believe the shit they're saying. Not only that, but they also know there's people that know the truth. People that know they're bullshitting that are gonna go underneath their post and call them out. And guess what? Both groups of people give them money because all they need is the interaction. All they need is the engagement, and they're getting that coin, man. I'm not actually pissed. I just hate them. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we got this dude Grums over here talking about games being DEI, woke. He's not supporting Ghost of Yotei and games like that. For fuck's sake, man. Like, bro, this dude.
But Ghost of Yotei wasn't really that good, though. It was like a safe sequel. Like, it just wasn't that great. It was like, all right. Like, it sold okay. But if we're trying to compare, like, the first, like, literally the first one or so, it's just kind of like, you know, why does this video feels laggy? I have no idea. Don't ask me. I'm like, it sold okay. Nothing really crazy, though, so. Yeah, that's why, like, we do our research on here. Like, what people say, or so, I don't take what people say as face value. I always try to do my research as best I can when it comes to this, you know? That's why we looked up the numbers right now. We looked up the sales numbers, and then the first 8 months, it sold 6.5. In the first 3 days, it sold, what was it, 3 million or so? So, or 1.5 million? I don't remember. It was one of those two, so. We always try to take a look at that when it comes to these debates, because, you know, I'm not going to argue. I'm not really going to argue. I'm not going to debate against you or so if I don't know, if I search, you know, if I don't know the answers. But if I search it up right there, right now, and you're wrong. And even then on top of that, it was on Reddit. So there was nothing even confirmed about Ghost of Yotei sales. Because they didn't really say it. They didn't specify it, you know?
Dude is a 60-something-year-old man. Hang up the jersey, Unk. It's over. You do a lot of yapping about games you don't like for a guy that still hasn't put out the game he was supposed to put out. Yes, this 60-something-year-old man got money out of the people that supported him. He raised money to make a game and never released it. So you're talking about all these games that are woke and DEI and shit, dog. At least they came out. Seems to me you need to be spending a little bit less time on Twitter and a little bit more time getting to work with your bitch ass. Ghost of Yote might be woke. It might have a woman protagonist. At least it didn't fucking scam me. If a game is ass, I will be the first one to tell you. But criticize the game off real criticism points. Why are we immediately acting like a game is dead on arrival because it has a woman main character? Dog. You stink. I can smell you. These people don't care about you. They don't care about video games. They care about money. And all they want to do.
I care about video games, and I just disproved you about like what, 80 to 90% of this video right now? I'm just saying.
Is make you mad so they can make money off your reaction. If you find yourself agreeing with the way these people think at all, I implore you, please look inward. Find Jesus. It's in such bad taste, and a lot of it is just lies and bullshit. And also, one thing I want to say to my young men, fellas, just because it's coming from a woman, you feel me, doesn't mean the shit's true. I know some of y'all are hearing it come from a woman, and in your brain you're going, oh my gosh, she feels the same way I do. I knew I wasn't sexist. I just hate when bitches are in my game. No, bro. I don't know, man. I just think we're in a really weird time. It seems like nobody wants to be happy about shit these days. Game comes out with a normal ass looking woman, DEI game, woke slop. Game comes out with a more fan servicey type of art style, gooner game. This shit is gooner slop. What happened to the hobby I love, bro? I'm just trying to play some good games, bro. That's it. That's all I'm trying to do. Not every game is perfect, and bad games do deserve to be criticized. Trust me. Trust me. But lying and making up false things to be angry about just so you can get paid a little bit of extra money, that shit's loser activity, bro. Anyway, that's all I got. Let me know what y'all think. More videos on the way.
Great video, to be honest. Like I said, I personally, like, I don't hate the guy at the end of the day, you know, but I disagree. I disagree with a lot of the points that he said. Specifically, I just disproved them completely. Like, from Mystique to Ghost of Yote to the Wolverine stuff, you know. That's and then the Witcher 4. Witcher 4 is probably the only thing that I can agree on specifically, because it's like, yeah, you know what, you know, I personally, it's kind of weirder so that people are saying that, like, you know, she is, you know, she's not attractive enough, even though it's a concept trailer, and usually usually the gamer show, at least the concept trailer, so they never look the same. Like, take a look at Geralt's concept trailer, like the first trailer that was revealed or so for The Witcher 3, he does not look the same or so compared to his final release. So that's all I basically got to say. Like, honestly, that's just kind of like it. We're not really talking about certain things in general. Like, I talk about other things in specifically, but yeah, like I said, agree to disagree at the end of the day. I personally disagree on his takes, and that's kind of like generally it, though, you know? What is this topic? It's basically how Mystique is, like, kind of looks like a guy or so. Well, she just doesn't look very sexy enough, you know? About the Wolverine game, Ghost of Yote, and everything like that. Yeah, his research is just on the surface level, and he didn't dive any deeper on the topic that he was talking about. Yeah, that's the problem. Is like, I personally, if I'm gonna make videos like this specifically, I'd rather do my research and my personal opinion before I even make the video. You know, talk like, you know, make a script and stuff like that. You know, that's just kind of like how it is. We tweaking about that. Oh, you know, it's just kind of like, he's basically saying that, like, Mystique looks like, what was it? Mid, right? Mystique looks mid or so. Like, she looks mid. But, like, you know, I don't mind the older Ciri as long as there is a good story. I know people are still wanting to play Ciri in her prime. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm only more figurative about is about her story or so. Is like, why is she a Witcher? You know, why? That's my question. You know. So pretty much people come into a conclusion to a character that isn't even out yet. Yeah, pretty much. For the Witcher one, it's kind of like, I kind of roll my eyes around or so when they literally said, like, oh, she's ugly or something. I'm like the game. Like, for this specific one, it's just kind of like, oh, okay, all right, take it back a little bit. All right, take it back. I'll give you the other ones, but this one is, you gotta wait for it. Okay, all right. But yeah. Saying she's okay, but Ciri is supposed to be an elder. Supposed to be the elder blood. She can't be okay if she has to be amazing. Yeah. If employment was more accessible, she's not appealing to the male gaze. She's mid. Not really. I think series fine, but we'll see when the game comes out at the end of the day. I want to see like actual like raw gameplay besides like the concept trailers that they gave us, you know, the concept gameplay and kind of like all that stuff in general, you know, all the early builds basically. I want more closer to the final build at the end of the day. But yeah, overall, that's the end of the video. You guys can comment, like, subscribe, all that fancy jazzy stuff. But yeah, overall, I agree to disagree. Personally, I disagree a lot of his points. Good video though at the end of the day, and yeah, he was wrong about the Mystique thing. So, but yeah. Anyways, that's the end of the video, and peace.